So we're going to go through a daily maintenance with a single stick. If you don't have a 3-stick bundle, here's what you do if you have a single stick. Here's a long stick. Depending on your height and what you have available, if you don't have a long enough stick when we go into the hanging positions, just use an elevated platform, whether that's a step ladder or a chair. You can put the stick on top of that, and that's going to give you instantaneous height advantage. So just think about that when we go into the hanging positions. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a split stance. So we're going to step back with the left foot first. So I'm taking a side profile so you can see exactly what's going on here. And we're going to place the stick in the left hand at 11 o'clock position. So it's at 11 o'clock, and as you can see from the side angle, the stick is probably about 4 or 5 inches in front of the right toe line. Hand right now is just about shoulder level. And what we're going to do is we're going to push the stick into the floor at about 30–40% tension. You're going to feel that left lat engage. And we're going to shift our weight forward. Everything goes forward. As you can see what's happening here, I'm working on that ankle mobility on that lead ankle. My back foot, the heel is elevated, so I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with toe extension on that back foot, but without being over aggressive. From here, what I'm going to do with my free hand is I'm going to start to rotate. So I'm rotating back. Make sure you keep that weight on the front leg though. So as you rotate back, don't shift your weight back. Keep the weight going forward. And that left hand, see I'm wiggling my fingers, make sure you continue to reach forward with that left hand. Make sure you're not holding your breath. You want to breathe in this position. Come back, ease off, and let's do that a couple more times. Ready? We're going to push the stick into the floor, shift your weight forward. You can reach forward with that free hand, make sure the back leg is nice and straight, and again, reach back. So you can see how we're lengthening this whole left side right now, and then adding that thoracic rotation in. Come back, ease back, and let's go one more. And you should be able to reach back a little bit farther by the time you get to that third rep. And ease back. Now let's switch sides. So, kicking that right foot back, switching the stick over to the right hand. The stick is at about 1 o'clock position. Once again, hand is about shoulder level, and the front of the stick is about 4 to 5 inches in front of the left toes. Push the stick into the floor about 30%, 40% tension. Shift all your weight forward. Remember, back toes are in extension, working on this ankle mobility on this lead leg. And now we're going to turn. As you can see, I'm reaching back and basically up towards the ceiling. And I'm reaching forward with that right hand. Come back. Take weight off that lead leg. 2 more reps. Reach. Make sure that right leg is nice and straight. And now rotate. You may actually feel some stability demand on this front leg. Come back. 1 more rep. Ready? Reach. And turn. Remember, should be able to reach a little bit farther by the time you get to that third rep. Come back and relax. Nice. Now, let's get the arm line, a little bit of shoulder. We're going to add some rotation in, and we're also going to work stability also, spiral line stability of the lower extremities. So I'm going to, once again, keep that side profile so you can see what's going on here. Feet together. I'm going to switch back to my left hand. Stick is at 11 o'clock, but I'm going to bring the stick back closer to me so it's basically in line with my toes. Left hand is going to reach up as high as I can get at the top. I'm going to take that rope grip on the stick, and I'm going to step back with that right foot. Bring the right hand across when you start and you load the stick. You want to make sure that the stick, whatever you're using, is going to be able to hold your weight. So make sure that hand is there to support it. Soften the back knee and drop just like an elevator down towards the floor. Don't shift forward. We're dropping straight down. You're going to feel that weight onto that left arm line. Once you know the stick is going to hold you, go ahead and release that right hand. From here, that free hand right now, we're going to take that hand and we're going to reach behind us again. And as we reach behind us, I'm going to let this left arm come with it. Keep your hips square though. So we want to keep the hips facing 12 o'clock. Don't let the hips flop out to the side. Come back to center. We're going to do 2 more reps. I'm going to change perspective so you can see what I'm talking about in regards to keeping the hips square. Once again, I'm going to drop the back knee towards the floor. Gravity will take over and take care of everything else after that. Take that free arm, reach across behind you at 6 o'clock position. Keep the hips square. Come back, ease off. Let's go 1 more. Drop down and reach behind you. And relax. Let's switch sides. I'll keep that front angle for you. Stick is at 1 o'clock, right side. Bring that hand up. You should, by now you know the stick is going to hold you, but still get into the habit of bringing that other free hand over just for added support and peace of mind. Back foot is back right now. The right foot is back. Back heel is up. I'm going to soften that back knee and drop straight towards the floor. Don't shift forward. Take that left hand, that free hand, and rotate to the left. Reach back for your 6 o'clock. Let the right hand come across your midline. Keep the hips square. You should feel your adductors working to keep the hips square so the adductor line is preventing the hips from rotating out. 2 more reps. Drop down and rotate. We want you to be comfortable with rotation. Remember, in movement, rotation is always involved. So if you're sitting at your desk all day, that's one element you're not getting a lot of. So we want to make sure that you're comfortable and that your body knows what rotation is. Rep 3. Come back to center and relax. Now, next thing we're going to do is lateral shifting of the hips and also working on that thoracic extension at the rotation at the same time. So we're going to take a wide base with the feet, all right? We'll place the stick inside the left instep. I'm going to bring my left hand off to the 9 o'clock position, and the hand is just above my head, top of the head level. I'm going to keep this arm at that 9 o'clock slot. I'm not going to let that stick or that shoulder slot change. So I'm going to push the stick into the floor at about 30-40% tension, and I'm going to sink my hips back. I'm going to hinge. I'm going to push my butt straight backwards. As I do that, I'm going to feel this opening, this lengthening through the anterior arm line into my chest. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my weight onto this right leg. As I shift my weight, I want to make sure I continue to drive my hips backwards. Let me show you what I mean. So here as I sink down and I shift my weight, don't let this happen. We just want to shift to the side and keep pushing the butt backwards. Now with that right hand, I'm going to reach across my body and I'm going to reach, actively reach to my 9 o'clock position. Come back, ease off. Now we're going to push into the stick. So let me change my direction for you so you can see what's going on. I'm going to push the stick into the floor. about 40% tension. I'm going to sink my hips backwards into that hinge position. I'm going to sink my weight, shift my weight to my right leg. Take that right hand, grab the stick, and push. Inhale, ease off. Let's do that 2 more times. Push the stick into the floor, hinge, shift weight, sink into that right hip, take that right hand, and again, push out. Ease off. Let's go 1 more rep. Ready? And ease off. Let's switch sides. Move the stick to the right instep. Arm is at 3 o'clock position on the right arm. Hand is just about above the head level. Push the stick into the floor about 30-40% tension and hinge. Once we're into that hinge pattern, we're going to shift our weight into that left hip, and we're going to reach out with the arm to that 3 o'clock. Come back. 3 more reps. This time we're going to push into the stick. Sink those hips backwards. Keep the hips driving backwards as we shift our weight into that left leg. Grab the stick with the left hand and push out to that 3 o'clock position. Ease off. 2 more reps. Ready? One more. Exhale as you push out and shift your weight. And relax. Now let's get that lateral line. So we're going to set our feet about shoulder width apart. Keep the stick at 3 o'clock here. Right elbow is at about 90 degrees. We're going to push that stick into the floor at about 40% tension. Left hand up. Bring your hand over. Grab the stick. Make sure the hips stay facing 12 o'clock. We don't want them to rotate. So we're going to push the hip out to 9 o'clock first, and then we're going to extend the arms out to the side. Let your head tilt because that is part of that lateral line. Ease off. Rotate the stick between flexions. Push your hips out again. And then push the stick away from you. Remember, your hips always move first. Stick moves second. Ease off. Let's go 1 more. Rotate the stick slightly. And again, push the stick into the floor, about 40% tension. Push the hips away. And then drive the stick out to the side. Let your head tilt. Ease off. And now let's switch to the opposite side. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Left elbow is at about 90 degrees. Stick is about 6 to 8 inches away from the midfoot. Push the stick into the floor with that left hand, about 40% tension. Bring the right hand over the top. Make sure you don't have to reach for the top of the stick. Simply just bring the right hand over the top. Push the hips out first, and then drive the stick away second. Remember, if at any point, if the stick were to suddenly disappear, you should be able to hold position. If the stick were to disappear and you were to fall over, that means you're leaning on the stick. You're not actively trying to separate and lengthen the lateral tissue line. So make sure that you're feeling that, all right? Ready? 2 more reps. Bring the hand over, push the hips out, and now push the stick away. Keep your legs straight. If you feel flexion in the knees, that's your body trying to compensate a little bit. We want to get the legs to be nice and straight. Ease off. 1 more rep. Rotate the stick slightly. And again, push your hips out to 3 o'clock first. Drive away the stick to 9 o'clock second. Let your head tilt. Breathe. And relax. That should set you good. Do this every day. It's a daily little 15-minute flow for you to maintain all your tissue lines, get that rotation in, open up those hips a little bit, and keep you feeling good from day to day.